Yay, I made it. Sorry, I was running behind, but that's okay. Good reason. How is everybody? How's it going? I made it. I told you it looks different. It was going to look different. Well, I've been rearranging. That's what I did. I moved stuff around, cleared the energy. Yesterday was insane. That's all I can say. We did the workshop yesterday, and I'm still processing it. That's what's up. So, how is everybody? How's everybody doing? I'll give a few minutes, especially since I'm late, to see who shows up. Sorry, my nose is itching. I may sneeze. I do that sometimes when I brush my hair. I don't know why. That triggers the sneeze button. See who's here. Hi, Gigi. I don't know if you're still here. It's the only one that's commented so far. So I could have kept going and brushing my hair and being later. So sorry, you're going to get a little of that. I see who's here. Hi, Pamela. Hi. How's it going? How are you feeling today? I've got a few things. I've been feeling pretty interesting. Last night after the workshop, I had a lot of visuals. Like, it was very vivid energy. I gotta tell you, the energy I don't know how to explain it. It was quite intense. I was still feeling it, and I felt it all the way until I woke up and then into today. And it's not like when I processed a lot of souls, it's like I literally feel like I'm standing in between everything. I'm standing in between the creation of all things. Does that make sense? And I know that sounds nuts, but maybe those that did the workshop will know what I mean. But I feel like I am housing the energy of all things. The creator. And did you see that? Absorbs your dust. But that's how I feel after that one. I don't feel normal. I feel like colors are so vibrant right now. It's just hard to explain. Almost like complete standing in my power. Yeah, it was nuts. It was nuts, you guys. It was nuts. It was nuts. And I still try to remember the moment when I opened the portal and what I said, and I can't. And I haven't listened to it again, but I'm like I had to surrender in such a way. It was difficult in that moment. And I remember doing it. And it was like, whoa, it was so intense. It was crazy. Crazy. So how are you all feeling? Did you hear me? There's not many people from what I see, but that was 3333. A lot of synchronicities ever since too. How about you guys? Who's all here? I see Pamela. Hi. Gigi messaged a while ago, but I don't know if she's still here. The numbers seem a little low, so I'll wait. Almost done brushing this. Ooh, absolute. A lot of hair. Sorry. It's a lot of hair. Tired and exhausted. Yeah, I am and I'm not. It's really weird. It's definitely a shift for me. Tired and exhausted is also, I can imagine though, you also traveled and stayed up late. And I've been like rearranging energies. There's a lot of movement here. Ooh, I'm almost done. Ooh. Say hi when you come on in. Hi, Amy. Aw, thanks. Yeah, she says, I love how you are you. I was thinking about that, Amy, and it's funny you bring that up because that's part of the message Spirit's wanting me to push, about how I'm different. How I'm different. Yes, I'm me. I can't be anything but me. Gets me in trouble. Leaves for a lonely existence. but I am definitely purely me. And so thanks for loving that, that's awesome. And that's kind of the message that was coming through today, is authenticity. Authenticity at its core. Are you authentic to yourself? And I am, and people assume a lot about me, and Spirit knows this. Like, they assume a lot about me. Even those that think they know me assume a lot about me. And it's because I just, I don't explain a lot. I don't. And that's okay. I'm a helper, right? That's what we do. And then sometimes we just leave a lot in. And Spirit's like authenticity, but it's also being honest. Where's your truth? And then I pull a lot of times the card of the suffering in silence, right? And I think a lot of us do that. I really do. I think a lot of us tend to suffer in silence. And for me, see, I know it's not like this really upsets me. I know why this occurs. And so I just kind of let it happen. But it does, things take their toll no matter what, because we're human, right? And the kind of healer that I am, when people are around me, they're met with their shadow side. Like, it really, truly does bring it up. Whether we like it or not, it's going to happen, okay? It just is. The shit comes out. And that's the kind of person that I am. That's the kind of healer that I am. It's a natural ability. And I see this a lot. Like, even in the comments, sometimes you'll get a comment of, oh, look, you're coming out of your comfort zone. And those things to me is like, wait, what? Just because I don't have a lot of subscribers. I can't do lives. I can't do lives anywhere but on my computer. And so I have to record things, and things become a thing. And I'm a single mom. And it's like, wait, how do you know my comfort zone? You're right. Like, a lot of people do videos where they have a certain way of doing things, and that continues. It's like a repeat, especially a lot of card readers. They have their little setup, which I've created a few, right? And it's like, but just because that's all you see doesn't mean I have any clue about my comfort zone. Do you guys see all that going around me? Woo! Did you guys see that? Tell me that was not what. And so, I'm having to own my truth. And that's what I'm having to do. I had to do that with that business that I was in, the company that I was working for. I'm transitioning right now. Hopefully to more pay, cross your fingers, because I'm leaving. Like, I so want to move. That is where my goal is. That's where my energy is. And I think, unless you spend a lot of time with me, unless you can actually listen to what I have to say for more than 5 minutes at a time, you really don't know anything about me, because it's hard for me to talk about things, right? But then you realize that everybody, we all do this, project. We assume and we project. And so that's also in the air, okay? It's like, are you being authentic? And is this a projection of somebody else or of yourself? Does that make sense? And Gigi says she saw it. Cool. Yeah, that was nuts, right? And so that's what's going on. And I want to talk about the workshop. It was so intense. It was not what I thought it was going to be. It definitely was the portal of time, you guys. I said this thing I don't remember. I channeled something, and it came through, and it did something. It was so intense. It was just quite the shift. But with that, like, literally, I feel like I'm actually standing in between everything. Like, I'm literally in the portal of time, like all creation, all time. That's it's really hard to explain, but it's very much so. Like, if I really dive into what I feel in it, I feel like it won't be fathomable. Does anybody else, like, how did you guys feel about it? Did everybody catch up on it? I don't know where Amy H has been either. I noticed she wasn't at the thing and I haven't seen her, so I hope she's doing okay. So there's only 3 of us here. Not many. That's all right. So I've been feeling that. It's like, because of myself, you know, I've had a lot. Every time I do anything, I'm always getting a comparison. I don't think you guys are aware of that. Somebody is always sending me, well, why don't you do it this way? You should do it like this person. Like, you should do it like that. I hear that more often than I can count. Why don't you do it this way? And it's funny how Amy's like, I love how you are you. And I asked, when I first woke up, Donita knows, I wish she was here. I panicked. I didn't want it. I tried to give it back. I cried. I know how people treat me once I woke up. Like, I just knew it was coming. And I shit you not, it's been one hell of a ride, right? Like, I came out of this group. I had my awakening within this group, and they're all supposed to support each other. And they were all supporting each other, but treating me like shit, like no joke. And I've talked about this before. I'm not feeling sorry for myself. If I was feeling sorry for myself, I would have quit, because that's probably what it was designed to do, right? Stop me on my path. I really, really believe that's kind of what it was designed to do, right? Stop me from my mission, which lo and behold, nothing did. But I can't be anything but myself. And yet people have treated me very differently. But the message in this, you guys, and I'm like, you really want me to talk about this, Spirit? And they're like, yes. Hey, Donita's here. Whoa, you guys, and we have a lot of company around me, so say hello to the orbs. But it's like, the reason I talk about this is because Spirit showed me something today. And I don't know if it's because I'm standing in the center of this energy I can't really fully fathom myself, and I'm having all these enlightenment moments, or if it's because there's something coming within the collective. And as I say that, I hear that. It's that. I feel like it's the latter as well as the other. I feel like we're rising in love and light, but there's also stuff coming, right? Realizations and openness that must occur. And when I look at my purpose, who I am, there is not one other person that can do what I've done, yet there are many healers that can do what I do, right? Does that make sense? Like, nobody can really move the planet. Nobody can do the things that we did, activate these things, this portals. And it sucks. I don't like being that person, but it is what it is. I don't like being different, but it is what it is. I struggle with that. I always have. And those who've watched me wake up know this, right? But I have been treated like shit. That group that I came out of, all they had to do was support each other. They were all doing it, liking their pages. You think many of them followed my page? Probably not. Maybe like a handful. Like, they all treated me like shit. I feel like the more we're authentic to ourselves, this is the message. It's not me feeling sorry. This is just a reality. I could care less. People don't know me. And as a psychology standpoint, that's the way I look at it. You don't know me, so I really don't care what you have to say. If you don't hang out with me more than an hour here and there, or know what my likes are, or anything like this, and you have no purpose to judge. And so I don't take things personal, the best that we can as a human, right? So that's not my purpose here. The message is, as a whole, the world in general was quite, I want to say, cruel. And we all know Spirit doesn't like some of my words. And they're like saying, no, not cruel. It's not cruel. Lack of love, lack of insight, lack of light, lack of life, lack of purpose, and lack of soul. And then pure division, right? That's what everybody was in. And we are coming out of that. We are going into a world where these things are not going to be so much possible anymore. That's what we've been saying for like 2 years now, right? Ascension, ascension. Energies are ascending. There's so much love and light and higher frequencies, and you can't have anything else. And so what's coming through is, as this ascension, especially with what I did yesterday in the workshop, the reality of how empty we've been as a unity, as a vessel within love, and within how we've been immersed completely in judgment and lack of understanding. And the problem is I cannot join in on certain manipulative energies in order to make a buck. That's not who I am at all. I'm true healer to the core. I'm part of what they call, I've mentioned this on many videos. If you don't know who I am, please watch them all. The gods of time, right? Like, this isn't a game for me. It isn't a joke for me. It isn't about, like, when I think about becoming abundant, it isn't like, how am I going to get these people? I have a hard time using my gift to benefit. It's like, it's a gift, right? And so at the core, that's who I am. And you see all of these people, like when they join on that bandwagon, it is a different vibration. It really, truly is. It is. It's a different vibration. It's a different way of being. And you allow space for these strangers to come in. Like, look at the YouTube creators. You allow space for strangers to come in and tell you, hey, you do this wrong, you do this wrong, you do this wrong, you need to do it this way, so I will keep liking you. You need to do this, so I will keep liking you. Do you think they take time to find out who that person is at the core before they sit there and continually judge them and judge them? Well, you want my money, then I'm going to treat you like shit. And that's the reality of the whole. And I hope I'm doing this message justice. I was in the shower receiving this today for this live. And I'm like, you really want me to talk about this? And Spirit said yes, because it's coming out. Like, I feel like it's attached to the work we did yesterday and a part of the Ascension. And I feel like it's going to come out in a big way to how much of an asshole the world really is. And I'm sorry I'm saying it that way, you guys. That's part of the message. But it's true. Look how cruel the world is. Do you want to know how many people hurt me over these last 2 years? Let me count the ways. And the funny thing is one of my worst abusers yesterday, I ended up crying for, praying for, and asking Creator if I can do a healing for, because his mom wants it. His mom it's my kids' dad, and he was not a nice man to me. And yesterday after the workshop, something came over me, and she's crying because he blew off my kid. He hurt my kids again for the umpteenth time. Surprise, surprise. And instead of doing what I always do, like, I'm going to move. Like, we are planning on moving far away soon, right? And in my head, I'm like, that's a way out. What does it matter? Like, why do I care? Why not be the normal and be like, phew, it won't matter. He blows them off. I can just be out and not the fuck care, right? And then all of a sudden, his mom messages me, and she's like, Bree, this isn't like him. And I'm like, I know. Like, he used to want to see them all the time, at least, even though he was not quite there with it, right? And now, and she's breaking her heart. And you guys have no idea how mean these people were to me, right? Like, the shit that she lied about. And I don't care. Like, I looked to God yesterday. I'm not religious. You don't know me, please watch my videos. But I did. And I'm like, what do I do in this situation? What is my heart telling me to do? And I asked Creator if I can send him healing. And I could only go so far, right? Because everything's through free will. But I was able to do a relationship healing. I was able to forgive him. I was opening his heart for forgiving himself. And you guys have no idea how not right this person has been, right? Like, it was rather beautiful. And I cried and I cried. And that's the epitome of where the world is right now. It's like, what is the point? And what is the purpose? Are you holding on to shit that it's just going to drag you down? Like, is it really important to hold grudges? Is it really important to keep the pain in our heart, or to judge people because they are who the hell they are? Because I'm different. I'm different upon different upon different. And I'm tired. And I've had this conversation with Spirit. I'm a good person. I'm a sweet person. And I take a lot of shit. And I keep taking it. And And I take it, but I don't. You know what I mean? Because I'll disappear out of your life real quick. Like, shoop, like I'm out on the corner, right? But like, I understand where you're coming from. But it's like, when people constantly tell me you should do this way, you should do this way. If I did it that way, if I did it their way, then I would be them and I wouldn't be me, who is what spirit keeps calling me, this master healer. Master healer represents somebody who has the ability to tap into whatever is needed for whatever is needed, as long as the receptor is able to receive. Can I get an amen? Woo! All right. Does that make sense, you guys? Amy D says, yes, I am. I don't know what that means. Is there a delay, or am I just like talking out my ass and nobody wants to hear it? I'm delivering the message as it is for a purpose, okay? Because I had to come from a place, and I'm pretty sure I designed it this way on purpose. And if you really think about it, it's freaking genius. I look back and go, it's genius. That's genius. And all the while, I thought it was, thank you, TT. All the while, I thought it was like the angels guiding me. And a lot of this was my own stuff. A lot of these words were mine. And the day that hit me, it was like I thought I was completely insane for like a week. I did. I went down the rabbit hole. Like this is fucked up. It's genius the way it happened. My life was not shrouded in me understanding the spiritual aspect. I completely shunned it. I can't reiterate that enough. Yesterday, the workshop shifted and we went into the Sphinx. And then every time I say Sphinx, you guys, I hear Pharaoh. To me, the Sphinx is a Pharaoh. It represents the Pharaoh, a specific Pharaoh, but also a collective Pharaoh too. It's like a collective of the whole. And it had stairs underneath it. And Merlin came in and Akashic Records. You guys, I didn't know this existed this way. I've never done this before. I had no idea. Thank God Pamela was there. And she even told me, like, that's happened. Like, she's experienced that through something. I'm like, what? I didn't know this was even real. To me, that is a blessing. I love having that aspect of me. I love coming at this like I don't know, even though I know a lot of things. Like, I'm not an idiot, right? Like, I'm very, 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 very well advanced in a lot of things, and I know a lot of things. I even downgrade myself too much. Like, I know a lot about a lot, right? However, in a spiritual aspect, through my whole childhood into adulthood, I shunned it. Looking back, I always knew, but I shunned it. I associated it with druggies. I did, because I grew up in a really hardcore druggy environment. My grandmother was a tarot reader, and somehow I just kind of associated them together. And I'm like, screw that. You know, if people were so all-knowing, and you can see the fake ones, and they would piss me off too. They would. Okay, Amy D says there is a delay. Where's Amy H? Is she okay? Did I piss her off? I don't know. Anyways. And then Donita says it was very cool. Yeah, it was very cool. But it was weird. But my point is I didn't know. I didn't come from a place of knowing what it was. I didn't come from a spiritual aspect. I have no idea about that stuff, but I'm sure I designed that for a reason. Like, look at it this way. I had this horrible, heavy life. Like, and a lot of people do. I'm not saying that. Don't feel sorry for me. No, I've had a great life all at the same time. I'm freaking strong and amazing. It's not about that. I was in a lot of darkness. Like, it was very heavy, a lot of trauma, not good stuff. Like, I can go on and on. Not a good place. Like, I could tell you, I know what heavy feels like. I know what loss feels like. I know what trauma is, okay? And that's where I was. Single mom, immersed in that, trying to make it through. And the next thing I know, wham, spiritual learning like crazy. Oh, okay, cool. All right, Amy D. I was just wondering because she wasn't at the thing yesterday either. And then she didn't show today. So that's not normal. So thank you for letting me check on that. And so Spirit's point is, it's like, we need to come to a point because it's being cleared. It's changing in the collective. It's going to be a smack dab in the face of how cruel and intentional and unusual punishment and how lack in love and how lack in understanding and how immersed in judgment that we've all been risen on, like divided upon, engulfed in, created from. Does this make sense? You guys, like, does this make sense to you? This is coming up, and it might be a harsh reality for some. It really, truly might. It might be a harsh reality. It might be a little bit of like a dark night of the soul. And that's what Spirit is telling me right now. And it's like, I stand in pride. I stand in the fact that these people who refuse to just support me through a simple like on a YouTube channel, because that's where I focus my energy. If that's all they had to do, why couldn't they do that? Does it hurt them in any way? Hail to them, no. It was free to them, but it supports me. And instead, through my whole entire journey, it was like, try to take me down. But that's also purposeful, right? It's like, why would they want to let me succeed? Because the changes would not have occurred to a certain degree. And we don't know where we would have been, type of a thing. No shit, I'm not kidding you. And so I feel like it's all purposeful as well. But when you look at the heart of the collective, when you look at the true core value of love from the collective, we've been shrouded in shit. You know what I'm saying? And it's going to start hitting the fan. I feel like that's going to be a lot to swallow for some of us. And I feel like don't take it personal. And that's what Spirit tries to tell me all the time. I have to sit here and deal with the fact that nobody wants to, I mean, not saying nobody. I know a lot of you do, right? Like Pamela, Amy, Gigi, Donita, Amy, 2 Amy's, right? Separate ones. Like there's so many of you I can name off that have been very supportive there the whole way. See it, deal it, have been healing and doing amazing work and growing as individuals and just riding this crazy wave without judgment. And so, of course, I'm not saying everybody, but there's a lot of people who have just been living in a place of the collective inability to love. Does this make sense? And I could still sit here and say, why do I do this? Why do I do this channel? Why did I do these workshops when only a handful truly even care to see? And even in those handfuls, I still get judged. Like, why am I not like this person? Why? And it's just a reality of my reality. That's my truth. You know why I'm not like that other lady that does her readings that way? And by the way, she's always doing them in 3 certain ways. That's part of the energy of getting that momentum of you to follow their thing, right? It's like, it's a momentum, it's energy. She does them in her kitchen every time, like, you know what I'm saying? And why am I the one who's being judged in a comfort zone? Does that make sense? Like, why would somebody shoot at me that does not hang out with me, does not talk to me on a daily, hasn't seen me in years, may have known me 20 years ago, could say that I'm getting out of my comfort zone? How do you even know my comfort zone? Do you guys see what I'm saying to you? Look at every creator out there. Look at the judgment that is placed on them every single day. I'm like, thank you, Spirit. This is why I didn't become big until the shit shifted. You know what I mean? Until the assholes left the planet. Then I can become big. Because I'm going to escape all that stupid bullying. That's how I consider it. It's like bullying. It really didn't. I don't care to get in on that. You know what I'm saying? And I never would have. And I never did. I'm me, and I will always be me. And Spirit says we should always be authentic to ourselves, because just because people want to hurt me does not mean they're right. Yes, Gigi gets the message. They're coming from a place of judgment instead of a place of love. And I could do like this, you asshole. Like, you're like, I could go so many ways with it, but I still keep being me. I still kept putting my stuff out there. I still kept speaking my truth. I still keep creating my workshops, and I still do them the way I do them, because that's who I am. I am not somebody who works in dense energy where I have been doing this for 12 years, where I study astrology. I know shit. I know nada tostada. I know what spirit brings through. I know what spirit teaches me. I am then validated with all these crazy things. What a beautiful thing that is, to wake up from nothing and then be immersed with all these amazing things that I'm doing and coming from a place of pure virginity in it. Does this all make sense to you guys? It's a really beautiful message. And then I really do hope everybody's receiving it in a beautiful manner. Because that's what it's about. It's about recognition of who we are as a whole, where the hell our values are, what we look at in people, what matters. What matters? The fact that you don't know how broken I was and how much of a struggle I've had to come through to be on these lives or to do these videos or to put my face, like you, I don't know if you guys really know. I don't talk about it. I talk about what spirit pushes me to talk about, but it's nowhere near my reality and my experience. And even people that I love still to this day, well, maybe you should do it like this person. Maybe you should do it like this person. And spirit just looks at me and says, you suffer in silence. And I was taking my shower today and they're like, this needs to come up because yesterday in the workshop that we did, you guys, it changed. It like everything was activated and I did this thing and I opened the portal and it's at the bottom of the Sphinx and it's the portal of time. It's the portal of time. I don't even remember what I said. It was so powerful. It took me so long to navigate through all of those energies housed within me all at once. Like, I'm not kidding. It was nuts. It was so intense. It was so crazy. And since then, I can see the core value of love in the collective. It is to the core. And I can feel like it's from God's eyes, right? Like, yeah, it hurts. Like, I feel like God hurts. I feel like we all hurt the shit out of God. Like, we do. Like, it hurts him when we hurt, like, much like your kids, right? It's all a part of that love, all a part of that collective energy. And that's why when we hurt ourselves, we're hurting them. When we hurt them, we're hurting ourselves. We're hurting God. And you can see how the earth never knew love. Like, not the earth, but the people on the earth. Yeah. Donita's like, I feel you. We have similar backgrounds. Yeah. Yeah. And now, Donita, looking back to when I first woke up and I was so adamant, nobody's going to hear me. Do you remember? I was like so freaked out. I cried. Please take my gifts back. I was so scared, so confused, and I didn't want it. I knew what it meant because nobody was on this planet until this time. Nobody was housing true love. Spirits like, don't say that. Not nobody, most people, right? A majority of the collective. And so it's going to be a bit of a smack in the face. We need to allow people to be who they are, to their authentic core. We're different for a reason. There's nothing wrong with that. I may not be as structured as this person. I may not be the color blue like that person. I may not be really pretty wearing red lipstick. Because I'm jealous about that. I look at women that wear red lipstick and I'm like, that's just ridiculous. Like Taylor Swift, I think she's beautiful. Anyways, I'm me. I'm blunt. I'm vivacious. I'm boisterous. I'm colorful. Sometimes I'm so damaged, I hate showing my face, but it's who I am. And at the same time, I've been clearing that and healing so much while I've been doing all this crazy work. And it's like, why? When people treated me like shit, why did I keep going? When nobody even wanted to support me, why did I keep going? And you're watching them. I'm not kidding you. I was paying for this thing and everybody was supporting everybody and they treated me so bad. And Spirit's like, stick up for yourself. And it was in this Facebook page and I did stick up for myself. And it was quite interesting. It was like me against the whole group. That's what it ended up being. But I had to, it's like that, the craziest kinds of instances, the craziest kinds of things that would make anybody else say, I fucking quit. I quit. I quit my channel and I quit being a healer. What is the goddamn purpose when everybody in the fucking world shuns me? Excuse my language, but this was like the reality of the last 2 years for me. But looking back in my life, it was the same way. Like growing up, I had to give away my power to my family. I couldn't be more powerful. It's like the whole, in reality, it has nothing to do with me. Has nothing to do with me. And that's the true reality of it. I don't care. It has nothing to do with me. Not one of you know me, except for some, right? Some have taken the time. Some take the time to ask questions. Some take the time to go, you know what? I want different. Some take the time to go, why does she do it different? Some take the time. Some are not immersed in the shithole judgment that's about to come to the surface. So Spirit's saying be prepared, because I feel like that's going to be a reality check for about 90% of the world, right? Oh, and especially in like third world countries where judgment is also very rampant in its own ways, right? Like, holy hell, you guys, this is going to be one harsh shadow side reality check coming. And that's what's up, right? Oh, Donita says she remembers that. You remember that. Do you see what I mean? Like, why did I not quit? What in the world would have kept me going? Name that. Granted, right, I had this few placement holders, like Pamela. She would come in and say things I would need to hear every now and then, right? But even still, it's like, why don't I do things this way? I just don't, because I'm me. Like, Spirit guides it. I don't know what I was doing. I didn't study this stuff. I didn't want to say, hey, I'm a card reader. I don't like being a psychic because everybody just goes crazy over people who tell the future, right? And I'm not like a normal psychic. And Spirit's constantly telling me, you're not normal. You're not normal. Keep putting it out there. What I'm supposed to put out more is the way I do a healing, because it's not normal. I am very unique in that, and that's my audience. And that's what Spirit says. Straight up, that's what Spirit says. Yes, I'm strong. That's why I didn't quit. Exactly, Donita. And I was called a warrior. But it's also because I come at it from a different level. I come at it from a different perspective and a different vibration. Not one that says, well, I must hate myself now because everybody else does. I'm so different. Nobody gives two shits about me. Why not? Hola, Orb. Hi. Did you guys see that? Why not get into a major depression and hate myself? The truth is, it would bug me a little, but it wouldn't bug me to the point where I took it internal. And I've always been that way. Like from the time I was little, I never would really take it internal fully. It's like I would, right? Because what a lonely life. What a lonely life. And that's why it's always been. But other than that, it's like I happen to know that you just don't see it. Wasn't that awesome, Donita? That was freaking awesome. And I would say that's some validation for the messages that I'm giving today, too. Yeah. You guys just be very aware of that. Okay, I feel like I don't know how to reiterate to you how big yesterday was. Mount Shasta came up again. It was flowing with light. And I want to show you guys something too. Those of you that did the workshop yesterday, what I said about Mount Shasta, that was awesome, right, Amy? Thank you, Orbs, for dancing with me and playing with us on video. Now it might be dust coming into play also. Do you guys remember this painting that I talked about that somebody did during a reading? Martina had done this painting. I really do think she's very talented. I hope she puts that out there for all of you guys to see eventually. But when I first had my awakening, we were in this program, we were practicing, and her and I had a practice session together. She did my reading, and this is what she saw. And I had no idea what the hell she was talking about. Saturn. What have I told you guys? I did a workshop where I sat on Saturn. I raised Atlantis. I was with Hermes. Okay. Anyways, I cleared out Mount Shasta. It makes sense to me now. This is what it was. Yesterday in my workshop, Okay, I've already done the bodies. We did that back in November. That's even written on the board over here. Cleared Mount Shasta in November. However, yesterday what happened, you guys remember, it was like this white light was going through Mount Shasta when I activated the portal. I opened the portal of time. I don't know what I channeled. I can't remember what I said. It took me, like, it felt like an eternity to come back to where I can even breathe from that. And it opened up this portal, and Mount Shasta was behind me. The portal was at the bottom of the Sphinx, and Mount Shasta had white light shooting through it like a volcano, like an energy release, right? And so then I looked today and I'm like, look at the white light coming out of it. I'm like, holy shikes. To me, that was very relevant. It was another piece of it. And so I'm looking at the painting going, is there anything left that hasn't happened? Is there anything left that hasn't happened? I don't know. It is a cool painting, isn't it, Donita? I love it. And again, we didn't know what it meant at that time. We had no idea what all of this meant. But if you listen to every single recording I've done with my workshops, if you follow what I've done on my channel, this painting is everything. This painting represents who I am and what I came here to do. Right? And I did it with everybody, Tom, Dick, and Harry, destroying my insides and my emotional soul. And very few people having my back. Pamela was one of the very few people that always had my back. And even with that, I still hear I should do things this way. And like, we're all that way, right? And that's what's coming up. And so you guys be aware that the light is like, wow, like, I don't know how else to describe it. That's kind of what's coming through. Okay. So it's what's up. Aw, thanks. I feel like it's a positive message, but I feel like it's just a reality check of where the world has been, right? Like, how low has the world been? How low and how immersed in judgment has everybody been? And with yesterday, what did they say? I don't even remember. I feel like they were very relevant with what they had said, with what was channeled. When I don't even remember it, and that's what sucks. But there's some major shifting going on, and I feel like this lack of love and a collective soul is about to be seen by all. Does that make sense? Okay, that's what I'm seeing. To sit in the middle of what is the energy of time. It was like the essence of creator. I don't know how else to explain it, you guys. I don't even know how long it took my breath away. It was really hard to house, really hard to describe. What is the purpose of that? Like, it is so powerful. I cannot deny that there's powerful shifts at play. Okay. And when Spirit tells me how deep this lack of love has gone, is about to surface, I think if we can just kind of allow ourselves to see that now, it won't be so painful. Aw, Amy D says, I won a free reading from you with that website, from that group that I started at. Yep. Do you know Amy D? She was like blocking my things too. It sucked. So I'm so glad through that we connected as well. Because there's a lot of blocking potential going on there. I found out she was like blocking my reviews and everything too. So I'm so happy we connected from there too. Donita, I met her. I met Pamela from there. And I think Pamela was definitely in it with me. She went through the same program at the same time that I did. And Donita, I don't know exactly which way you came in or where you... Maybe you were in the group before me. I don't know how all that went. Maybe you did the cleanse and then kind of followed me. Is that how it happened? You just shifted over. There was a lot of that too. But it was a blessing. And so even though I was treated like shit, I found what I needed through there. And I still came through such diversity and completed my purpose. And I've talked about that before. It's like I came through what I know most people would have given up on a long time ago. I did it, and I sacrificed a lot, including my physical well-being, my physical vessel, every bit of love that I had other than from my kids, every bit of understanding on a love level. Like I sacrificed a lot. Oh, okay. So she was a bit after me, then followed me. Okay, that makes sense, Donita. All right, that makes a lot of sense. See, and so it's very magical. There's blessings in all of that, and this was not about woe is me at all. It's about the fact that, because even Martina, when we did that painting, used to tell me, Brie, everybody treats you like shit, and you still help them. She would say this to me like on a regular basis. Brie, everybody treats you like shit, and you still help them. Like nobody would follow my channel, and I kept posting and I kept posting and I kept trying to spread it. And I'm like, I freaking gave up eventually. And Spirit's like, just keep going, just keep going. Now I know why. I didn't need all those people. I feel like the more people I would have had, it would have mucked up what I was doing. I feel like if I would have became a paid creator, I would have been stopped in the work that I was doing. There's so many things that would have stopped what I did. I mean, look at the video for the moon. Right before that one, you guys, right before the one where I channeled about the moon and I cut the ties, I literally had somebody I care about come at me sideways out of the blue and tell me such hurtful things. It was like the random ass shit, which was such a lie, because the next day I had what he said I didn't have. It was like, wait, what? It didn't make sense, but it should have stopped me. You know what I mean? And so I hold this in my heart. And so I know who I am. I know how strong I am. I know how wise I am. I know how free I am. And I know the purpose of what I do. And it's not about manipulating the energy to become rich off of it for me. For me, it's about doing my purpose, raising the earth where it needed to go, giving back to the earth in the way that I needed to, and doing it even though people didn't know who I was and what I was doing it. You know what I mean? And I still did it with a smile on my face. And I feel like that's the message for everybody. Needs to be authentic, because if you're not, you might be in trouble going forward because the world was once a cruel and unusual place, and it will no longer continue to exist in that way. So just get ready to ride the ride, because when we talk about truths, I really feel like everybody's going to be smacked with, it's hurtful. Like, do you want to know how much love you forgot to give? Or you didn't know how to give? Like, that hurts, right? Like, it hurts when you realize what a judgmental shit you were, but we've all been there. You know what I mean? And so I feel like we've got a lot of love to be stepping into, a lot of love to be giving. And whatever yesterday did remains to be seen, because I'm still trying to process all of it. And as we were doing it, the portal was already pulling energy through. So that's what's up. It was intense. You know what I mean? I didn't come here to be that. I came here to be this. You feel me? I didn't came here to be like that. I came here to be like this. And don't assume from a few videos where I can't even go live outside of my computer zone because they only have 131 subscribers, that I go outside of my comfort zone if somehow I manage to take you to my comfort zone. Okay? Like, I feel like we need to all realize that we're reflecting sometimes. And sometimes when we have thoughts like that, we need to go, maybe that's me. Like, maybe I'm not in my comfort zone, and that's why I'm seeing this, right? Like, I think we need a change in perspective. I think we need to open our ability to understand that everybody's different for a reason. There should not be this collective pull where if I don't conform, I can't jump in the bandwagon of that vibration of that. Does this make sense? Does this make sense, you guys? Like, really, Spirit, everybody's going to probably unfollow me now, and so be it if they do. This is the message Spirit wanted me to give, so it's what I'm giving. I have to be strong in it. I have to face people that have hurt me every single day. Even had to look at them in the eyes, knowing how they've judged me falsely. That's what hurts the most. When people judge you falsely, it really does hurt. And what do you do with it? Do you give up? Do you run? Do you keep trying to explain yourself even though they're not listening? What do we do with it? I feel like we do that a lot, right? Like we try to explain ourselves until we're blue in the face, or we just run. We don't explain ourselves because we don't like conflict, and then we lose relationships, we lose moments in time, we lose possibilities. Like, what do we do with it? So much we have taken things internal and searched for answers on the external. We need to flip it around, okay? All the answers are in the silence. They're in the now here. They're inside. And our gifts are reflected on the outside. Our love, our joy, our harmony is all reflected on the outside. Acceptance that, hey, you're you. You're beautiful for being you and not like this person. I can go here to get this person, and I can go there to get freedom and fluttery and surprises, because I didn't know what that workshop was about literally until I was immersed into it. And then it's nothing I knew or understood either. It's like, that's the coolest part of who I am. And I know I designed it that way. And that's the part I'm talking about is genius. But I still am like so thankful that I was not some guru. I was not somebody who meditated, who did yoga, who, yes, I had a gift. Looking back, it was always there. But like I said, I shunned it. I used to do healings on my husband naturally. During massage school, I had some instances happening I couldn't explain. Light coming through like crazy. It was nuts. I can't deny those. But for the most part, I knew nothing about nothing. I failed geography. I gave two shits about the earth. I don't care what states were where. I don't give a flying hell. This is what I was. School was bullshit. I knew they were lying through their ass. I don't like to be controlled. Like, I never fit in. I was not somebody who was like, I'm a psychic. I want to be in a public eye. None of it made sense. I've never studied Egypt. I've never cared to study Egypt. Didn't like religion. Nothing meshed there. Always talked to God, but just like I talk to you. You know what I'm saying? Can't wait to have a minute to watch the workshop that we did yesterday. Oh my God. It was nuts. That was nuts. But it's just in not knowing, I just kept going and I kept putting it out there. How many people do you know are willing to do that? I have no idea what I'm talking about, but I'm going to put it out there for all of you to see. And I'm going to allow you to just do your judgy thing. Like, you know what I mean? Like, most people, like, I watched them, like that Feel Good guy. I followed him in the very beginning and he was rude as shit to me. He was rude to me. And so I stopped following him. Like, that is not somebody I can look to. He is not somebody I want to get advice from, because he shut me down with a question. And I was like, what the hell? That was my first part of my awakening. And I've watched him. I've noticed what he's done since. I watch him play in that energy. And I'm like, all right. You know, like, it's the ego. It's the ego at play. And that's a big key right there. Ego. A lot of guys have a hard time with me too. They don't like to hear my messages. And then they try to turn it around on me. And it's like, no, dude, sorry, no. Or, you know, it's like, I don't know. Can you be authentic to yourself in the midst of diversity? Can you be authentic to yourself when everybody says otherwise? Can you be authentic to yourself? Even if it hurts. That's what Spirit's asking. That's the message today. What level of authenticity are you willing to dive into? Look throughout history. There's only been a handful of people who've been willing to be pure and authentic in the midst of diversity and chaos. And Spirit is saying that we are all going to be met with this. Okay. How authentic can you be? How authentic can you let others be? That was interesting. That was in the wrong deck altogether, but I'll take it. And that's the question. Where is your authenticity? And are you prepared to see how lack of love we've been? Are you willing to allow more love in and to realize that we were all very uneducated on what love and acceptance is? Because here you have this master healer, and I can't tell you how many times I still have people telling me, do this way, do this way, do this, you should do this like them, you should do this like them. No, I shouldn't. Then I'd be them. And I wouldn't be Juniper Bloom Mystique, Brianna Walters, crazy, crazy master healer. Right? Good. Amy says yes. Sweet. Sweet, sweet, sweet. Because that's what it's all about right now. And that's the way we're going into. Okay. And I feel like this is on a deep level. This might mean some heartache surfacing. Okay, you guys? This might mean that we have to deal with losses that we haven't dealt with. And Spirit's also talking about that. And that's part of that shadow aspect. And this is what's going on for the collective. This has nothing to do with me. It does have to do with the portal we activated yesterday and the part of the Ascension. The portal we activated yesterday, I will tell you guys, will only be activated till around the 31st of July. What it's eliminating is beyond me at this point. But they gave us a time frame of around the 31st of July. And of course, give or take, because it's spiritual time frame. And see, I told you I'd lose people by speaking my truth. I told Spirit that today. So let's see if I lose people by speaking my truth. It tends to happen when I allow myself to be me. You think people support that? Not usually, but I'm willing to be authentic. Okay. Oh, sweet. And you know how, you guys, I talk about emotions and how they're the key to everything? Even Tylenol blocks your emotions. Like everything you do can either block and hinder the flow or allow the flow and allow you to heal. This is the first card that's coming, or actually the last card I pulled. First card that's coming through. My emotions move through cycles and connect me to my truth. I just read that backwards. Badass I am. My emotions move through cycles and connect me to my truth. Okay, they do. They what do they call it? Flux and wane. They move. They have to move. Emotions have to move. When they become stagnant is when our body gets sick. When energy becomes stagnant is when we get sick. That's why movement is super, super, super key. I live each moment with a presence of gratitude. Those that did my workshop yesterday, I came out of it with such high levels of gratitude. I was just crying and so thankful. A part of love is gratitude. I don't feel like you can have one without the other. Like, think of it, that lady who was trying forever to have her baby, and then all of a sudden she can finally feel that life inside of her. That gratitude, that deep, deep, deep love. Unconditional. Don't even know what you look like, but I love you for you. I don't care if your nose is pointy. I don't care if your hair is different. I don't care if your attitude is loud. I don't care if you're not like Tom, Dick, and Harry over here. I love you. And I'm so thankful that I have you for you. Can you guys say that authentically to the ones that we love, or better yet, to ourselves? I'm going to show you this card last because it threw out of nowhere and I don't even have the deck with me. And I swear to God, I don't know why it would be mixed in these decks. That doesn't make sense. So I'm going to show that one last. All right. So then this is very interesting. So I can't deny everything I've talked about is always shown in the cards. I love it. It just solidifies all the message that I've given you. It's not about me. It had nothing to do with me, but my experience are very relevant for my purpose and for what I've done. okay, and for what you guys can see coming forward. This card is awesome. It's the Great Serving. Mars energy, anger, conflict, and softening to love. Wow, over here. We are over here. Look at this card. It's beautiful. And you see the darkness with the light coming through? It's like the light penetrating the dark, the light penetrating the dark. And I felt that with that light going through Mount Shasta. It's like the volcano of energy. It had to be an energetic release. I get that, or I feel like we would have exploded. And I think that's what came through. But it's like that burst of light that's starting to happen, okay? And with that comes realizations and perspectives, which is also the next card. But the Great Serving is about, this isn't about you, just you and me. This life was not, it's not meant to be about a selfish, mundane place. If what I do affects you, then why do I only want to live in my boring little existence? Do you see what I'm saying? It's like, do you want to know that you are authentic to yourself and you served humanity through your authenticity? Or do you want to know you gave in to that collective collaboration of nothingness? And then what did I tell you guys? The biggest aspect coming forward is how lack in love we've been. Mars energy, anger, conflict, softening to love. So what did I tell you? What was the main part of my message? Spirit had me deliver this message in this way because I went through shit, right? But I dealt with it. It was not on me. It was on them. You know what I'm saying? That's what it's about. It's like, are you going to get angry? Are you going to live in that kind? When it rises, it's going to be a harsh reality. That way we can get rid of it and soften to love. Like, damn, I'm sorry I judged you. Damn, I'm sorry we treated you like crap. Damn, I'm sorry I didn't see you for who you were. We all have an aspect of that coming forward, including and not limited to ourselves. Making sense? And that's just being validated in the cards more ways than I can speak. Then the next card is perspective. None of this matters. Zoom out and find common ground. Just like I said, it's like, am I going to sit here and be like, everybody hates me, I quit. Screw you all. Why am I a healer? Nobody gives two shits to even see what I can do. I've had people coming to me and it's like, don't you know I can see 20 steps ahead of that? I can do, what is a master? Master healer. They can't see it. They don't want to see it. Talk about judgment, but it's all about perspective. And what's my perspective? I could have stayed in the energy of what's the point? I don't want to do this. People treat me like shit. People refuse to just give me a little support. Why do I keep pushing these out? Why do I keep doing that? And the truth is, it doesn't matter if you see it now or a year from now, or if I helped 5 people as opposed to 1 million. What you don't see is I helped the whole entire world behind your existence. And so so that's what Spirit's showing me. It's like that little dot in the speck of nothing, right? It's like I'm that dot, and nobody can see it, right? But it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what people are able to see in this moment, because we all know there's going to come a time where they have no choice but to see it, where perspective has a way of being like, bam, it all of a sudden clicks and it all of a sudden switches. And when that happens, best thing to do is find that common ground, because it can be heavy and it can be painful. All right. Because we've all been there. We've all had a mucked up, dark perspective. We've all had an inability to see the true perspective at some point in time. You guys, I can't make these cards up. All right. And then we have perspective. Third eye chakra, pineal, perspective. It's about awakening to the new light. Okay. It's about ascension into the new light, ascension into what love really is. And that's what we're all going into. You don't open up a portal of time for nothing. All right. Do you understand? And look at this card, you guys. There's pyramids. There's just light. There's ascension energy. And while I was doing the workshop yesterday, the craziest thing happened with the weather. There was a storm that came in and it went exactly with the workshop. lightning and thunder and hail, and it all went with me. It was some crazy. It's all on recording. I don't know if you can hear that. I was like, whoa. So much synchronicities here. So many parts of this message. It's intense. All right. You have no option but to move. You're moving one way or another. All right. And are you going to allow the new light to come in, the new levels of love, the new change in perspective? Okay. Allow your emotions to keep moving. Otherwise, you will miss the truth. Then we have high heart chakra. All right. High heart chakra. What does that mean? High heart chakra, ecstatic bliss. The whole purpose of all of this is the elimination of the darkness, elimination of judgment, elimination of falsehoods of our existence, elimination of trying to make me like every Tom, Dick, and Harry out there when I'm the master healer, Juniper Bloom Mystique, who is just like Jesus. You know what I'm saying? It's like, where do we give it? And why do people want to judge me? Did they do one of my things? Did they work with me? Have they watched everything I've done? Hold that perspective. Where are they coming from? High heart chakra represents a whole nother level of existence, a whole another level of letting in light. So if you're in your heart chakra, go higher. Imagine going deeper. Imagine opening it up further. Imagine taking it deeper, because that's what's coming. Okay. It's like a whole influx of new energy and new light and new ways of perspectives into what love is. Am I clear on this message? Because I feel like it's very important, and I hope people didn't judge it, because I kind of had to talk about me a little bit in it. I even told Spirit, I'm like, God, Spirit, you want everybody to not follow me now? Like, and they laughed, and I'm like, what do I care? What does someone say? None of it matters. Zoom out and find common ground. I don't have common ground with people usually. Okay, all this making sense so far. I look like I'm down to 3 people. I don't care. Fine. And then the last card that should not be in any of these decks, because I didn't even pull the deck, don't know how this happened, also goes with the fact that I activated the portal of time. Need I say that again? It was so powerful. I can't remember what I chanted. It was hard to get it to come through. It was like I had to surrender even further. It came through, took my breath away. I was crying. I was profusely. It was horribly crazy. Then we have this card that came out of nowhere and decided to join in on this message. And of course, it's the goddess of time. Okay, the goddess of time. First of all, Spirit wants to tell you, if you think you have time, think again. I feel like, I'm sorry about my camera. I feel like there we go. We all get stuck in this thing of, well, I have time. I have time. Time has changed. Time is not the same. The world is moving. Things are moving. Judgment Day, put it all together. If you think that everything's going to remain the same and you have time, you might miss something crucial. Okay? And so Spirit's also saying that. What is time? What is time? That's an interesting concept. What is time? Is time a part of judgment? Is it very critical? Is it very structured? Is 5D structured? Can you have judgment in 5D? No. And no. It's freedom. It's pure freedom at source. It's as above, so below. There was a purpose behind me saying that over a year ago, and it's starting to come out again. It's making so much more sense now that I'm saying it. When you die, when you look at any channeler, they're a true channeler, medium, right? Medium. And they channel spirit from the other side. They talk to the people who have crossed over. They will all basically tell you the same thing. You don't die with judgment. They don't go over and have regrets. Okay? It is what it is. Like when you cross over, you leave a lot of things in this plane, in this very low density dead energy existence of lack of love and full of judgment. Do you understand? And when you cross over, you go into pure divinity, pure light, pure love. Woo, that was cool orb. There's been some awesome orbs here today. And so 5D is representative of as above, so below. You're bringing in higher frequencies, higher energies. You cannot have things of love. Look at it as when we cross over. If you, any entity who crosses over into light, right? Anybody who's in the light is not going to be housed in judgment and fear and regrets. They don't hold grudges over you. It's like, here's an example, right? Like people, like my loved one died and I feel responsible for their death. And we're on this side hating ourselves. We're miserable. We're crying. We're holding all of this resentment in our heart. And we're wondering why we did what we did. Could I please do this different? And Spirit's on the other side going, let them release that pain. That's not for them to hold. It was my time to go. Does that make sense? Spirit doesn't hold those kinds of things that we house on this plane. And so when you wonder what 5D is and what we're going into, especially after yesterday, I'm telling you now, the portal is open. The energies are not going to stay the same. There's that. I tried to not do that workshop. I tried to have so many things come against me again. It was a big one. All right. And so think of 5D in a way of, okay, what do we let go of when we leave this plane? Those are things that are really going to become non-existent. Judgment, fear, illnesses, okay? They are. And if you want to keep diving into them, then you may go where you don't want to go. I don't know what else to tell you. But as a collective, the shift is irrelevant. It's coming no matter what we do. And we just need to be open to healing the love. Does that, let's heal the love aspect. Can we all do that? We're going to all have to do that. And stop judging each other. Can we allow people to be different? Okay. Those are big things coming out with it. Are you willing to be authentic with yourself? We need to separate that. This has to be done this way. Like, look at that in the corporate world. Everything has to be done this way. If you don't do it this way, it can't be that way anymore. We need to make way for, we are who we are for a reason. I wasn't born Native American. I was born white as white can be. I was born hairy. God dang it. It sucks. Like, I worked at the center and this boy was like, you're so pretty. And then your arms are so hairy. I was like, thanks, dude. Thanks, my dude. Like, you know, but that's me. I don't want to go shave that so I can be like you. I don't want my things to change, except that I want to allow myself to be more pure and more light and more into the abilities of what I can do. So I'm not saying that none of us have room to grow. We are all meant to grow and improve and want to do better as ourselves, right? And so that's not what I mean at all. And also feedback is good. Like, hey, you can do this, you can do that, and to improve things. Yes. Perception matters. Yes. But also allowing people to be authentic to who they am, to who they are. That is super, super crucial. Okay? Does that make sense, you guys? That's the biggest message I can give here today. And that's what Spirit is saying. We've got to allow space for that to be. Otherwise, we may be in trouble going forward. All right? And you guys saw the cards that I pulled. With that being said, I did a really big workshop. So if anybody is in need of a messenger healing, I'd probably do it on donation based at this point. So if anybody's up for that, let me know. I can post the link. Otherwise, if anybody has any collective questions, any questions regarding the workshop yesterday, it was not what I thought it was going to be. This portal is only open for about 4 weeks in time, very short time frame in essence. And it's like the elimination portal. That's the basic gist of it. It was crazy. I don't know. It was nuts. And I'm just so glad it was recorded because I don't even remember what I said. Like, that one was so intense when I channeled the opening of that portal. I cannot for the life of me remember what I said at all. Like, at all. I had to align with it just right to allow it to come through. And it's like, I can't do it again. It was so intense. It was nuts. I don't think I could reiterate that enough. That was nuts, 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 nuts. Other than that, y'all, I am in the middle again of transitioning with my time schedule, so I could do another live here in a day or two too, with just messages. Probably donation based though. I can't keep giving so much of myself away all the time. I've noticed, you guys, that people struggle picking up what I put down sometimes. And it's like, how do I eliminate that? So that's part of the goal. Also, I do want to do the video where we come on and we do the Zoom and we all communicate. And so I'd like to get together and do that too. And Amy D and Amy H, I had something come through the other day, and then I was drawn to both of you two. And I know Amy H isn't here. Do you guys have an education in your background? Oh, absolutely. I can post the link. And do you or Amy H have education in your background? Because you came through for this idea that I had. And I might need a collaboration unit on it, if that makes sense, because it's pretty big. Okay. There you go. There's the link. I should probably pin it that way. It just makes it hard to see the message right away. So. You have some medical terminology? Me too. Okay. All right. Well, when the idea came through, and I'm like, I don't know if I could do this alone, I started having people pop into my head, and others kind of made sense. And then when it was you two, I was like, well, you have something. So I'm trying to figure out what it is. And so if I go forward with it, I will let you guys know. Because it's such a big thing that I'm not sure I want to do it alone. Like, I want it to be perfect. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm finally stepping into who I am, and that's okay. So I want it to be perfect. So I will keep you posted on that. I went ahead and posted the link. So if you guys do want a quick healing or a message, I'm doing a donation, because when we exchange, you're more likely to hear what I have to say. And I'm learning this the hard way. So, ooh, look. Oh, nope, that's not where I want to live. They sent me the perfect house, and it's like outside of where I want, and a sale pending. I'm like, why would you do that? Why would you do that? Here's a house, but you can't have it and you won't want it. Like, what the hell? All right. So we do have one. Do you have something specific that you want, Amy? Do you want healing, or do you want a message? What's going on? Or just general? Whatever Spirit says. What is it that you're wanting? Okay. Well, first of all, I can tell you're a little off balance. So right away, I'm like, sage. I hear sage. I need sage. And then I hear off balance. Like, okay. So masculine and feminine energy, a little off balance, a little off kilter. What do you want, first of all? Okay. Well, first of all, Spirit has a question for you. What is it that you truly want? Not based off of what you're supposed to want, or what's best for others, or what would people think of you. Do not base any of that off of that. This is for you, by the way. This is Palo Santo. We're trying to calm your energy because it's a little bit off kilter, okay? And so they wanted this to be incorporated for you. So we're starting there. But Spirit says you really have got to sit down and be authentic. There it is again. You've got to be authentic to yourself first. Who the hell are you, Amy? Who are you? Not who is this person, not why weren't you like this person, not what this person wants you to freaking be. Because I don't care what they want you to be. That's because they missed the boat on something they wanted for them. Who the frick cares? Who are you? Okay, so that's step one. That's step one. All right. Okay. So it's not, okay, so when you threw the word jealousy out there, right? And I feel like you're in that. I feel that. I feel like you're in that, but Spirit's saying, no, that's a misidentification of source. Okay, so. Okay, so that tapped in right there with what you said you wanted, right? Hi, Orbs. Okay, and so in order to have that, you have to be authentic with yourself. So even though you want it, you have to be that. So if you're in a career you don't like, why are you there one day longer than you need to be? Why? Because everybody says you need to? Why? Because everybody says you got to do it this way? Like, right? That's part of it. Now, here's the other part that I'm seeing when we tap into the word, because you said you feel like you're in jealousy, right? It's not jealousy, it's emptiness. It's emptiness, and you don't know why you have to continue feeling so empty when it seems as though others around you don't feel that way ever at all. But they don't have to deal with that form of emptiness. And I feel like that's what you're calling jealousy. I don't feel like it's truly that you want to be like anybody else. I don't feel it's truly like you want to look like anybody else. I truly do feel like at your core, you absolutely love who you are. It's the fact that not one other soul has validated that for you. Okay. So here's your challenge. You have to find an adventure for your soul. What do I mean by that? When people fall in love, when people tend to meet people, they're not necessarily, unless they're going on the dating apps, right? And things like that. Okay. It's not usually when it's aligned right, when it's that thing, it comes when we least expect it. What does that mean? We're doing something else. You have this emptiness in such a way where it's big. It is big. And it comes from birth. Okay. I see it and I feel it. It's not jealousy. It will start. This is not the solution. This is the start of the train that will take you in the direction of filling in that emptiness, okay? Because it's going to start with you. There is a creative outlet you need to get in on. And it's almost like there's going to be competitions. It's almost like there's going to be gatherings where it's going to be something you're going to work for. And it's going to give you that pride within the work that you do. It's going to allow you to see that, look what I just did. Look what I just put out there. And people freaking liked it. I won. I see you winning. Do you see what I'm saying? I feel like there's something in your town. There's something there. There's something that you've looked at. There's something you may have done in the past. There's something you have in you. And it's a creative outlet. And when you start filling in these voids and allowing people to see you through that outlet, even if it's going to be hard, what do you got to do? Get out of here. You're going to have to do it, right? You're just going to have to do it. You're not going to think about it. You're just going to go do it. Like, what do I have to lose? I'm tired of this other shit. Like, how tired of the shit are you? Shit. Right? And so we just jump in and we freaking do it. And we just do it because I'm tired of the other shit. And we go again. I don't want to go tomorrow. I'm going to shut that voice up and I'm going to go again because I'm tired of the other shit. And I'm going to go again because I'm tired of the other shit. And we keep doing that. And the next thing you know, it's like, ha ha ha. Somebody comes up to you and they're like, wow, what you just did was amazing. And they validate you. And it comes from an unknown source where you would have never expected to get it. They don't know you. They're not related to you. They're looking at it from a blind perspective. And they're showing you the beauty of who you are. Once those start happening, it's going to change your course of allowing more love in. In those moments of being now here, because we're in the creative flow, your man's coming. I see him. There is a little bit of a shift. So with your mother, there's an expectation. It's almost like, how do I say this? She didn't get what she was looking for in her lifetime. And by golly, it's like an undercurrent. It's not like it's necessarily intentional, but it's hurtful. And I get it. And it's like, I'll be damned if she has more than I did. Like, I didn't get to do it. And it almost hurts her if she sees you have more. Okay. So we're just going to kind of heal that connection, kind of heal that. And I feel like it's more subconscious. It's a little conscious. I don't know if she'll admit it. We're just going to heal that. That ability to be you, are who you are, authentic to your core, even if it means you soar and somebody didn't. That's not on you. And so we're putting that back where it belongs. We're putting that back where it belongs. Guilt is a very low end vibration. And it won't be able to be housed anymore. Okay. And then I'm also hearing enzymes. So I would definitely watch your hydration level. And I don't feel like you can get it from water. I feel like a little bit more plant foods are needed. Okay. A little bit more digestion, love. Give a little bit of love to your digestive tract so that those like life cultures, gut health, a little bit of gut love is definitely needed. And this is also tied into a little bit of depression going on. Okay. And so it's not jealousy. We're sad. There's a little bit of depression, which comes in from the lack of balance within our system, plus the void of love. That's the reality of what it is. I've been there too. And so the solution is quite clear. Watch your diet. Give your internal self some love as well as the external self some love. You must date yourself. Take yourself into this competition of this talent that is inside of you. There is something there. There's something there. I don't know what it is exactly. It's some form of way of you to join something and for others to see what you can do, but it's going to challenge you to put yourself out there and to tap into your abilities and gifts. Is this making sense so far? Gut health is key, and enzymes. You need healthy enzymes within your system. It's a little bit off balance within the toxicity level. And then we have a little bit of imbalance in masculine and feminine. And then the healing with your mom is occurring. It's now at about belt level. So I always see it with like the figure 8, and it rises up as it heals. Sorry, it's all over. You needed a few things, so I do apologize. Ooh, that made me hungry. Here's the thing. Because of your misinformation of the external validation, the misconception of the reflection of you, are you with me? What spirit is showing me that we're doing, okay, is ending up in some form of way. It's like a subconscious punishment. And we're doing that through what we're eating and what we're allowing ourselves to tell ourselves. Am I clear? So we need to change that a little bit and turn it into love. I challenge you to completely date yourself and love yourself completely, unconditionally, like you want the man to give you. Please, can you do this? This is your key. Like, if you could pay attention, is this food going to, like, I want to love me. I want this food to be music to my gut and music for my soul and to make me feel beautiful because I feel beautiful. Okay. Okay. And then get into something where you can allow yourself to be seen a little bit, because there's a lot of validations to be had for you. They're just not going to come from where they should have come from. We get that. Spirit's validating that. That sucks. But it's a hand of what it was. That's the way we came in, and that's what we had to deal with. But it's not needed. We will replace that elsewhere. And when you get validations from strangers, it's going to do even more. Okay. As much as I get people telling me, hey, you should do this, I also get, wow, how did you do this? Can you teach me how to do that? Okay. Because I'm not afraid, because I can do anything. And if I can't, I figure it out. Like, I don't care if I make a mistake. What's a mistake say? I'm trying and I don't know what the hell I'm doing, but I'm figuring it out as I go. And that mistake is going to teach me right there how I'm going to do it really good next time. Then when I get like 4 mistakes in, I've mastered that shit. Now I go in and I'm the pro, because I made those mistakes and I let them allow me to grow. Everything is the same way. Okay. And so don't go into a competition looking at a judgment of ourselves. Like, hey, if I'm not perfect the first day, I'm going to be better tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? And I'm going to probably be better than you were because I just made that oopsie over here. And it's something I'll never forget. It allows expansion. Okay. And that's what the key is. That's what you need right here. It's like, don't subconsciously, I get that. Not consciously. You're not punishing yourself with food consciously, as we all do it. I'm the opposite of a stress eater. I used to not eat at all. And so, things like that. Okay. Really take your power with this, Amy. This is about your power and where you're placing it, and grab that shit by the balls and take charge of everything that goes in you, mentally, physically, and emotionally, and what is coming out of you. And watch this man come in and just sweep you off your feet and treat you like the queen that you truly deserve to be treated like. And not only come in to marry you, but come in to marry the family. Okay. Also, you need a little bit of a kidney flushing. And so that's just more flush water, and the gut health makes sense for that. When our gut stops working properly, we don't absorb like we should be, and so that's a key. So you're not absorbing the nutrition that you need, plus we're not getting enough nutrition. But even when you are, you're not able to absorb it, because there's like this just we just need to kind of flush our system out, and it's something you can super simply do. It's not too far along. Okay, any more questions on that one? Did anybody else send anything through for a reading or healing? Let's see. No. Okay. So far, I think that's it. So if that's all anybody wanted, I know it was kind of a heavy message, but we've all got some reality of judgment. We've all got some reality of this world that we have been in. And as it's surfacing, we're all going to have to look at the fact that we didn't love enough. We didn't know how to love. That's what's up. Do you really know how to love? Did I know how to love? Hell to the no. Yes, kind of, But who loves in return? You know what I mean? So that's the energy going forward. And then just be ready, because I don't know exactly what opening that portal did. I do know the earth changed. It is literally in the midst of all existence. Does that make sense? How do you explain that, you guys? We are literally in the essence of the energy of all creation. That's what was activated yesterday. When they say portal of time, It is literally the essence of all creation. It's just all open right now. So whatever you want to create is yours to create. And yes, you can, Amy. Yes, you can. Yes, you can. And very quickly. So I don't want you thinking, God, it's going to take forever. No, it could take a week to do all that. It just depends on how free and how much we surrender and how much we keep doing the work. You know what I mean? Doing the work just means like keep going. Don't think about it. Just do it. When we get in that flow of just doing it, the next thing you know, you did 4 years of high school in 2. That's how I did that. I didn't think about it, or I would have never freaking finished. 44 credits in 2 years is what I did in high school because they told me I couldn't graduate on time. And I'm like, screw you. Watch me. I went to 2 schools, put that shit together. If I would have sat there going, okay, how many do I have left? Okay, where am I at? How many do I would have been screwed. All I did was I can do this. I just immersed myself and I went, wah, wah, wah. Never thought about it. This is hard. Yep, keep going. This is hard. Yep, keep going. I'm just going to be done soon. It's like, and so, hi, orbs. The purpose there is just don't think about it. Just do it. And just when things come into your head, just counter it. Like, oh, this is a lot. No, it's not. It just seems like a lot. Let me just do this. It's not a lot. Like, it's just a little. Look at this. Like, it's manageable. Just do this. Like, just change the narrative. Create exactly what you want. Take your power by the effing balls and harness it. You know what I'm saying? We all got balls. Ours are just up here. Forgive me for that. You know what I mean? I think the orbs agree with me today. They've been dancing through my video for quite some time. That was so cool. For those of you who didn't watch this whole video, when you do watch it, I love the orbs. That was so cool. Try to talk to your orbs if you ever see them, see what happens. Like, land on my hands. Come to me now. So funny. I don't want to come off on this video like I'm doing a woe is me. Yeah, it's a harsh reality when I speak my truth, and I told Spirit that. People may not want to talk to me anymore, but I don't care. It's not about that. I don't care how you treated me in the long run. I'm still who I am, and you didn't take 5 minutes to get to know me before you treated me that way. So what does that say for you? If somebody can fake a smile, you better be damn sure there's layers and layers and layers and layers to who they really are, what their capabilities are. Don't assume, right? Be willing to be authentic. But you guys, be willing to allow authenticity. Quit judging and quit, by golly, bullying people into being one way. Let them be themselves. Appreciate the difference and the beauty of what they bring. How do people come up with newness if we're all trying to conform, right? And so that's Spirit's message. It is time to be authentic, because that's all we're going to be left with when this portal closes. And that's what Spirit is showing me. The portal I opened yesterday, you guys, I wish I remembered how I did it, what I channeled. It was the coolest thing. When it closes, the only thing we're going to be left with is pure authenticity of self. You hear what I'm saying? That's, I guess, what you could call Judgment Day. What did you create? What is your reality based off of? Where did you spread the love? Where did you let love in? The only thing we're going to be left with, right in our face, is our own authenticity of self. Okay? So I would say now is the time to be open to that harsh reality smacking you for the purpose of that shadow aspect and the change in perspective and the healing and the love to occur. My biggest enemy yesterday got major healing and love sent his way. The rest is on him to allow it in, right? I did as much as I could, and then I heard God say the rest is on him. Why not? Blew my mind while I was doing it. I'm like, do I really like this guy? Hurt me. Like, I can't even express to you The damage was done by this individual. And it's like, I didn't care. It's like, I forgive you. I forgive you. You still can't know where I live, but I forgive you. I forgive you. All we're going to be left with is pure authenticity of self. Okay? So I'm going to continue being me. And I hope you all continue being you. And we'll see who quits following me after this video. Okay? So much love to you guys. I will do just a pure healing message one. Donation based. Amy, you did just donate. Amy D. So on that one, you can get a free one. Okay? Just because. And just because I want to give that gift to you. The next time I come on in a couple days, I will give you a free one. Everybody else can donate. Okay? I don't know if you're still on. You can hear that. All right. So I'll be on probably by Wednesday to do another donation based. It's in the air. So much love to all of you. Be ready to be smacked dab into your reality of the authenticity of you. Okay? Let's just put it this way. If you place judgments on others, they're going to kind of be turned for you. Is this making sense? We are now currently in this weird portal of authenticity, and that's all you're going to be left with. So let's give it some love. And let's give it some love fast. It's exciting. I love my shirt. I love it. Oh, I love this thing. See, I created this. I designed this. And I had this person try to change it, you guys. And I took it back. I'm like, no, this is my creation, my design. This is what I had an awakening to see. This is me, right? That's being authentic. And I love the shit out of it. So bomb. All right. That's just me being an authentic goof. So much love. I will see you guys later. Let everybody be themselves and give love. Bye.